Well, how many times have you thought to yourself, I'm so bad at remembering people's names?
Imagine not being able to recall faces, not just people you meet, but your colleagues, your friends, and even your family.
This is a reality for many people. Here's what we've learned about a condition known as face blindness.
You ready for an exciting day?
I work with the sweetest young man.
Hi there, my name is Michael Furman.
He's full of compliments.
15 away.
Every day when I walk into the studio, he comments on something I'm wearing. A pretty dress, my unique earrings, my shiny bracelet. His compliments are sincere, but his kind words are also serving another purpose.
Commenting and saying, oh my gosh, you have a lovely shirt on today. It helps me to be like, this person's wearing this shirt today. Got it. That is who that is.
Michael has a condition called prosopagnosia. It's also known as face blindness.
I think it's one of these very fascinating conditions that really kind of speaks to how complicated the brain is.
Mic check, Blake.
Dr. Nick Lannon is a neurologist with Corewell Health in Grand Rapids. He says Michael is not alone. Face blindness is actually a relatively common condition.
It's not that they can't see the face, it's that they have trouble kind of putting all the bits and pieces of the face together to recognize it as that individual.
Dr. Lannon says face blindness can occur as part of other larger conditions like strokes, Parkinson's, or Alzheimer's, but there are basically two types. One can result from a lesion in part of the brain. The other simply runs in the family.
I was just casually talking to my mom about struggling with names and keeping up anything, just strategies trying to remember people's names, and she was like, oh yeah, by the way, face blindness is a thing, and explained to me all her symptoms and everything that goes by with that, and I was like, oh my gosh, it makes total sense.
Michael says pictures help. He's always been drawn to pictures of his friends and of good memories. They help him remember. Another coping mechanism, something he calls his name book.
Like as soon as I meet people, I've started a name book on my phone. I've connected to a certain memory of somebody that's not regards to their face, and I write down their name and the nickname I give them.
Just as Michael hasn't always known he has face blindness, he hasn't always been comfortable talking about it. He did confide in some friends in college who responded in the kindest way possible.
It was amazing because after I told them, they secretly went behind my back and took Polaroid pictures of each other and put it on a big board with their names written on it, and they gave it to me as a big poster to hang up.
Although Michael has never been officially diagnosed, his mom has.
It's nice to zoom in.
Dr. Lannon says most people with this condition will never be diagnosed, but if they describe the symptoms, you should take them at their word.
It is one of these things that falls on kind of a gradient and a bell curve. So there are people that just may be a little bit below average with faces, and then you should trust them when they report that. And be sympathetic.
At 22 years old, Michael is taking his love as pictures and working toward a career in film. He says one of his biggest fears is insulting somebody by not remembering who they are.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Lannon says it's important for the rest of us to have empathy when things like that occur.
It's one of these very fascinating conditions. It's underappreciated condition. It's a hard to treat condition.
Stand by.
But it's definitely a real condition.
So there are different levels of severity with this disorder. For some people, it can be really debilitating, and others like Michael learn how to live with it.
Wow, so he has an entire strategy in place in order to be able to make it work.
He's making it work.
Right, what a nice guy, too.
Yeah.